All right, guys, in today's video, we got a bit of a special treat. We've got the man himself, formerly known as the bloke who ruined Arknights and Genshin forever for so many people. Probably one of the, I'd say the most polarizing content creators in the gacha scene that I've seen. If I mention Tectone's name to anyone, it's either I love that guy, he's so funny, or something to the opposite. I think you understand how polarizing you are. He's the guy I like to refer to him as immaturely mature. Is the kind of way I like to describe his approach to things. Tectone, how are you, man?
Yeah. Oh, God, you're talking about like I'm like Donald Trump, brother. Holy shit. Well, okay, first of all, don't call me.
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that. Politics don't come here, man.
Oh, right. So I can't say about the president. True. But don't call me the man, bro. I'm just a guy, dude. You know what's crazy? And this is just the God honest truth. Like for Arknights and Genshin, I feel like I'm doing the same thing for Honkai Star Rail. You know, I'm just merely speaking my mind and letting shit go. But I don't know. Regardless, listen, you gotta understand from my point of view, right? Like Arknights, like they banned me from their fucking game, right? Like that. So how would I not be salty on that? And Genshin, well, Genshin has Paimon in it. So, God, I hate that character.
So as someone who didn't play Genshin, I don't quite get the Paimon thing, but I find they did the same, like quote unquote, the same type of thing with what's her face with March 7th, and I like March 7th.
No, it is so different. Okay. Oh my God, dude. And I'm being real. I would be playing the shit out of Genshin if they kill Paimon, bro. Oh my God. I have such a distaste for that character. And let me tell you why. Because it removes all seriousness from every single like story ever. And it injects this annoying, fucking unlikable, irritating little fucking kid who just fucking says the dumbest shit, where it's like somebody just dies and then you have to hear, oh, Paimon's so scared. Bro, shut up, dude. Oh my God. And let me tell you, it's like watching Dora the Explorer, where it's like, wow, did you see that over there? I saw that too. God, it's like a Mickey Mouse.
When did you start watching Dora the Explorer, by the way? Because I have two kids and I've still never seen it. They we watch other stuff. I'm just curious.
So Dora the Explorer, I still watched in high school. Fun fact. Let me tell you why. Because I would have to wake up at 6 a.m. To catch the bus. And the only thing on the show, I'm not going to watch the news, okay? It was either watch Cartoon Network or it was watch Nickelodeon. But at that time, it was like Cartoon Network Kids, Nicktoons, right? And the only thing I could see is like fucking Backyardigans or Dora the Explorer. And I was just sitting there angry because, like, dude, we're gonna have a hell of a video, Vulcan. When I stop, this is why I play games. This is why I stream constantly. Because when I'm left alone with my thoughts, it's not good. So I just sit there. I will watch anything to hold the demons back within the inner machinations of my mind. And I just sit there and I enjoy, I mean, at the end of the day, I was trying to learn a little bit of Spanish. Boots the monkey, he was pretty cool. Shit, replace Paimon with Boots the monkey. That'd be cool as shit. I don't care. It's just like, dude, I want you to play Genshin so bad. Because even Nicrit made a video, said, I played Genshin Impact for 700 hours to find out its flaws. And even he, for the honeymoon phase, he was like, wow, the game's great. After 700 hours, he's like, wow, Paimon ruins it takes all seriousness out of the game.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating.
Yeah, the only bit of Genshin that I played was the beta and maybe like half a day on launch. And I skipped, like I didn't really pay attention to any of the stories. So I didn't get any of that, but maybe one day I will and I'll experience. You're not really selling it to me to want to jump in and do that, but maybe I will. I'll probably be that weirdo that enjoys it.
The other, no, okay, well, that's true. Genshin Impact players are pretty fucking weird, but that's okay. But
no, not saying that, but I just mean I am the worst critic in that I just enjoy everything. I am so easy to please when it comes to movies and like stories and stuff like that. I'm very basic, but you continue.
The thing is, Genshin Impact, it is a great game. Like Genshin Impact is an amazing game, but I just think it could do so much more than what it is. Is pretty much my whole thing with the game. And a lot of people don't like that, right? A lot of people don't like that. They say, no, it's a perfect game. It doesn't need anything. But I mean, imagine my stupid ass when I was playing for like a year and a half and like waiting for like the real like end game content to come out. And then the developers say, oh yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Now, a lot of people make the argument like, oh, okay, well, it was never going to be that. Well, I didn't know. They never said, right? I didn't know that. So how the fuck was I supposed to know? And the other problem with the story is that, so I'm gonna give you an example of Genshin Impact dialogue, and I mean this generally. Anybody who's played Genshin will 1,000,000% agree with this. Okay, this is how a normal human being would talk. Vulcan, I am holding a can of Dr. Pepper. Okay, this is how a Genshin Impact NPC would talk. My God! Is this the canister of Dr. Pepper from 1885? Wow, this surely reminds me of my childhood. When I was a kid, I actually met Dr. Pepper. He was very dear to me. We used to walk down the rivers to quench our thirst every day. And then it goes on for 40 fucking minutes. I'm good.
Yeah.
The dialogue bloat is insane.
So from that, what do you think they did right in Honkai that fixed those issues for you?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, they actually have good story writing. And like, let me tell you why the writing is so much better for Honkai Star, because they are so like, they're killing it, bro. Like they are killing it. Even like the story quests that were a little bit like, what's going on here? Like the evil cult once you get to Planet 3.
Yeah.
As well as the blind chick, which me personally, I enjoyed the blind chick story. I thought that was good. But they were like, we're not too sure this is prevalent and players should have to do this. So they're actually taking those two quests out of the main story quest and making them side quests because they want the main story to be polished and necessary.
Yeah.
So
I liked that, like same as you, the blind girl one with like the blind chick and the blind girl. I thought it was like a cool little like learning experience type thing. I enjoyed that one too, but I don't want to spoil too much if people haven't played through it, but who hasn't played through it by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. And like, you go.
Yeah. The dialogue for the game is so well put together. Everything feels like it's there for a purpose. The characters are likable. The comedy is good. I mean, even the story about hiding in the closet, it's just like it is actually funny. Like it's actually funny. They don't take the same jokes and do them a million fucking times like hee hee ha ha Paimon emergency food, right? Like there is legit purpose. It feels like it's there for a reason. A lot of the times I'll be playing Genshin, I'm like, wow, it feels artificially extended just for the sake of retaining player retention, right? When I'm playing Honkai, I don't feel like the game is trying to waste my time and keep me in it. It's like, okay, this is the quality content. When you're done, you get out. And I love that. I love that as a player. Like for a lot of the time, it's like, this was the Genshin experience for me. And I mean this for me. I'm not speaking objectively. I'm speaking subjectively. For me, the experience was go through 4 hours of fucking torment dog shit writing and then get to a 15-minute cutscene. That's fucking awesome. I am not willing to sit through a Lord of the Rings movie to experience one good episode of Ed, Edd, and Eddy. I'm just like I am not willing to do that. Like 3 hours, 4 hours of dog shit for 10 to 15 minutes goodness. I'm just not. It's a game with good moments, not with good pacing. And that's pretty much what it's just bad pacing and a content that I'll never say. But it is what it is. I also ruined the game myself by wailing, and I fully acknowledge that.
Okay, I want to talk about that for a sec, because I've always been the guy who will either free to play and use free units or buy like a monthly pack or something like that. My problem, and this is stemmed from, I think it was back when I played Summoner's War. I spent I think about $4,000 in Summoner's War and didn't get an Nat 5. It absolutely broke me, and then I just never spent in games again. But from then, I just spend to play more. I don't spend to get a character. As soon as I spend to get a character, I find myself detached from the account, and I just stop playing it. For instance, Tower of Fantasy, I played day one, spent for the first character. 2 days later, I stopped playing the account. I just have no attachment to it. Honkai Star Rail, I made into my account where I was going to spend to get every character so I could make content on them and stuff like that. I dropped that spending account. I spent like 380 Australian dollars to get Zilla, and I'm just like, I just have no interest in this anymore because I just feel like I've watered down the experience.
It just ruins the game. It does, genuinely. I feel bad for anybody who spends money on the game. There's no reason to do it at all. I mean, obviously, I'm very happy for Hoyoverse. They had the #1 selling banner ever. Like, it was a world record from what I've been told. I think it was about 44 million on Zila in 3 weeks, which is insane. The game has netted 111 million worth of profits in a month, which, by the way, is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's why anybody who doesn't demand excellence from their mobile games is a fucking idiot. And I genuinely believe that. There is no way anybody's going to look me in my eye and ever tell me that I'm asking for too much when the game is making this much money and I'm just letting you know, like, the amount of how much it costs to make Honkai Star Rail to how much they are getting is like 1% cost for 99% profit, right? That's why, like, as players, I always feel like it's very important in a constructive way, not a naggy, bitching, toxic way, to just say, I think we should get this. Here's why. Here's how this will improve the game, also increase sales, also increase the player experience, right? Like, obviously, there's a lot of people who say shit like this. Well, I wish we just had everything for free and we could play forever. That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard, right? Because the reason that the reason why gacha games are so good is when you get something, it means something. Yep. Like, and that is why it's fucking different. Like, if, like, for example, it's the same thing with Diablo. Okay, the reason why people play Diablo for 2-3 weeks is because they get everything in 2-3 weeks and then they stop playing, right? For Honkai Star Rail, like, you can play a little bit every day. Maybe you get something good. Maybe 3-4 times a week, maybe twice a month. If you get super unlucky, you'll get something new and you will remember it. And the best thing is you get to show it off to your friends and it actually feels unique, especially as a free-to-play player. Like, when somebody comes up to me and says, oh, you know, I have a C6 Zila, I'm like, okay, cool, you spent $2,000, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody says, dude, I just bought a fucking Clara, and I'm like, they're completely free to play, I'm like, dude, fucking grats. Because I know that's like the only way they could have got it. And I actually get excited for them, right? Like, I am so glad I took the time to, like, be a free-to-play player so I could understand it more. Because, like, this is the first game I've ever free-to-play played. But I love it. I love it so fucking much. And it makes the game so much better. Because, like, dude, oh my God. I was watching, who was it? I can't remember which streamer it was. But their solution for every single fight was just ignore all ads, hit the boss really hard with Zila. And that's it. No team comp, no thinking, just hit him with Zila, you win.
Yeah.
So fuck that.
I gotta let you know, I'll send you a video. I'll leave it linked in the description as well. Someone sent me a video on Bilibili of this CN whale. Because you know I'm a QQ fan. Like, the Qing Chui in me is very strong. Memory of Chaos 10, they did it in 0 cycles with Qing Chui.
How?
So that they didn't consume a cycle. They had Bronya, Ting, and Asta buffing her. And because her E4 gives her the follow-up attack, which doubles the damage of her attack, and then they had a maxed out Jing Light Cone. she wiped the whole thing with Bronya returning her without using a single cycle. It's nuts. But, like, you can do that cool stuff. But with spending, like, I've got mates who just have to spend. They have to have characters. Like, that's how they enjoy the game. And I get that. But for me personally, the feeling I get is if I'm spending to get a character, when I get them, I'm relieved. If I'm summoning as free to play and I get a character, I'm stoked. It's like a different feeling for me personally.
Dude, when I pulled my Zila, there's a video of this online. I was so, because, like, a lot of people think that I'm, like, exaggerating. I don't think people know how much I love life, how much I love playing games, how much I just love, like, my ability to love and be excited is insane, right? I have a mental illness for sure. I got so excited when I pulled Zila, Vulcan, I passed out, like, on the ground. Like, I fainted for like 3-4 seconds. Like, that's how much I fucking love this game.
Yeah. No, it's 100% like. And I think for me, what I like about Honkai Star Rail, and I know some people hate this, but this was one of the deal breakers for me with Genshin and people, this is a very controversial thing to say to some people, is Genshin didn't have auto. And for me, I love playing through a game and I like doing manual stuff when it's required and it's challenging. But when it's a grind, I want to auto that. Like in Honkai Star Rail, the whole gear grind, like in 90% of other gotchas, is auto. You just set it and you go. Whereas if I get to Memory of Chaos, then I'm thinking through every single step that I'm making, and I can spend an hour in a Memory of Chaos fight and enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Would you say, was that an issue in Genshin? Because I feel like Genshin didn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, it didn't have the auto. So if in your gear grind, you'd have to walk out, smack mobs, walk back, go again.
So the thing with Genshin is that like even as a free to play, like
I'm gonna have to play the game and get a feel.
Go for it. I'm gonna play it again on 4.0. But I'm probably not gonna touch it until then unless my chat really wants me to. The thing with Genshin is that the majority of fights require like 10%, right, of like your total power. Like I'm not kidding you. I mean, there's a video online of me beating the Spiral Abyss, blindfolded, right? Like it's the hardest content in the game. I walk in. I'm not even kidding you. I just press every button, and I beat the whole thing from start to finish, blindfold. I'm not even looking, right? So the content is so easy that like if you've played, and once again, this is from if you played from the beginning. Because the biggest reason why I had a lot of issues with Genshin players is that they play for like 2-3 weeks after the game's been out for 2 years and say, what is this guy talking about? I'm talking like if you played from the beginning, you are so ridiculously fucking strong that you just completely gap like any type of content. You get your character level 90. Okay. Eventually you get a couple of the constellations. Oh, I almost said Eidolons. That's something that I'd like to say more. I hate it when I play Honkai and I accidentally say Genshin terminology. It makes me feel like such a fucking zoomer.
Yeah.
Regardless, like you just get so juiced. If any account will showcase it, I mean, many people have done free to plays like MTash, for example. But it's just you can just crush everything. There's not really any difficulty. And the other problem is that the majority of things in the game is kind of just like a damage check, right? Which Honkai Star Rail does have like the same issue with. Like a lot of the things will be just like, do you have the damage? Yes or no? But yeah, that's pretty much all that Genshin is. Just like, do you have the damage? Yes, then you win. If you don't, you lose.
I think
I get to that point.
Possibly. Do you think it would be more enjoyable starting now because there is so much content to keep grinding through and you don't just overpower it straight away?
Well, the difference is there's a difference between content and like enjoyable content, right? And like I just don't want to sit through the dialogue bloat and the random like quests that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
In order to find that, because the problem is that Honkai Star Rail does not do this, which I'm very happy about. At least in mass. Genshin Impact has a roster of 40 to 50 characters. And you only see them like once. And they decide to make the forefront of the story and side quest random NPCs for the majority of the time. Not all the time, but the majority of the time. And it's incredibly frustrating where I just want to learn about the characters that I like versus random NPCs that I'll see one time and forget about. And the other problem that they have is well, they have to like promote banner sales. So the moment there's a new banner, they have to interject a character into the story that is on the banner, which like kind of really breaks immersion sometimes. Like, well, why is this character here? Like, what is going on? And not to mention, they've also time gated a lot of story quests that is like peak writing. Like, for example, there's a story that you will never experience. This is a fact. This is an objective fact. You will never experience the story of the Chalk Prince and Dragonspine. With people watching the story, this is a big gripe of mine that I have. It's some of the best writing in a mobile game that I've ever seen. And it existed for about max 6 weeks, and then it was taken out of the game forever.
Rip.
It's really fun. It's really sad. Even rare places like Golden Apple Archipelago, they just took them out of the game. But sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, see, that's the thing I like about like even like I'm not massive into side quests. I didn't go through all of them. I didn't listen to all of them, but like the Clara side quest was like I thoroughly enjoyed that when you're trying to repair the robot. Like that was really good, and it just gives you insight. I don't know why I was just so captivated with Svarog, and I just love anything that involves him and his decision making and him becoming more, human as such. Like I don't know, something about that just really enjoyable. And like side quests like that, you look at Hook, that was a cool one as well with her dad. A few others. What was the other one that I enjoyed? I can't remember. I kind of want to touch on the Svarog Clara quest
Because the reason why it was so beautiful is that it tackled like very serious topics, kind of like existentialism, like the Chimera Ant arc does in Hunter x Hunter, like what it means to be human. Like even though it's a robot, it still has the feelings and the morality of a man. Like, is it wrong to take that away? Is taking that away killing it? Because technically it still functions as a robot, but you are taking away all aspects of humanity from it, which like I find incredibly fucking beautiful. Same thing with the story of like Hook and her father, and like how they just wanted to get, you know, each other a gift, and they were willing to risk everything, do everything. And at the end of the day, they both fucked up. But in that was like the best gift of all was understanding, but how much they both cared about each other. Like it was so cute. It was so heartwarming. I actually teared up quite a bit during that quest because I just find like a relationship like that so beautiful between family or friends for that example. But yeah, I mean, the story writing was so fucking good. Not to mention, like, I am getting such dark looming vibes with like Don Hung. Like
Yeah.
I think he's going to die. Like I think he's going to die 100%. Like there's writing on the wall. You see like the cell phone, he's split up from the group, right? I think something very fucking bad is going to happen to Dong Hung. And I don't really think anybody's going to see it coming. I think I just see it coming because, well, I'm a fucking nerd and I'm looking into it too much. And like also like when you think that Kafka's a bad guy in the beginning, then she gets revealed out to be like actually a person who's just trying to like, you know, do what's best no matter what. She's kind of like chaotic good, right? Like she will do the right thing no matter what.
Yeah.
Right, like there is a point where she is redeemed. Now, I don't want every character to be completely redeemable. Like in case you don't know, Luocha, he is based off the character Otto from Honkai Impact Third, who's like a massive piece of shit, but he got quote unquote redeemed to the best of my knowledge. This is just from what I know, because like he was trying to do all this for like a girl that he was in love with, yada yada, blah blah blah. But I want Luocha to be like a piece of shit. And knowing that Don Hung is with Luocha right now, like I'm hoping he fucking killed Don Hung. That would be crazy, right? That would be crazy.
Who's in the coffin?
Sorry.
Well, it's actually got room
Don
for
Hung
two. It's a big ass coffin.
Yeah, dude, I legit cannot fucking wait, man.
Yeah, and like I'm hoping we get an extension of that story in 1.1. Do you think we're going to get like more zones or anything in 1.1? Like what's your take?
Well, right now World 2 has 11 substages and World 3 has 7. So I'm thinking we could get a couple extra substages for sure, maybe 1 or 2. That's what I'm hoping for at least this patch.
Yeah.
But right now the only thing that I require is events that are rolling throughout the entire patch, a extension of the main story quest, as well as new story for Yukong, Silverwolf, and Luocha. I'm mostly looking forward to Luocha. Is that it? There's a couple other things that I wanted. Maybe a refinement of the current systems that are in play, maybe tweaks to characters that need a little bit of a buff. Also, I'm in the opinion that no character that's gone live should ever get nerfed. Everything else should be buffed up. I think buffing up is much better than nerfing down. Because if you pull for a unit and it gets nerfed, that's going to feel fucking terrible. If you pull for a unit and it gets buffed, that feels great. So that's what I think we should do.
Yeah, I remember, like, and that's the way you got to play it, because I can't remember what game it was. It was the 2D pixel art pinball game by Cygames. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember when it launched in JP, they had this like win character was the first banner. Everyone in JP pulled for it. Then they nerfed it 2 weeks after. It was like the biggest outrage. Like you just can't do it. So yeah, I definitely agree. And I mean, the thing you can do, you just buff everything up to that standard and then make enemies harder.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's not
like,
the end of the world.
I'm underneath the other influence of there's a lot of characters in Simulated Universe as well as Memory of Chaos where I feel like Mob should lose about 20% HP or so and do about 20% more damage. I feel like that'll make the game feel a little bit better because there are a couple of mobs that just feel like fucking sponges where you have to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I think that would benefit the game quite a bit. But then again, for Genshin, that makes sense. I'm not sure if it makes sense for a turn-based RPG, but I'd love to know how the community feels about that to make them do a little more damage, but make them take a little less. It is kind of hard because for Genshin, you can like avoid any of the damage that comes your way, but whereas Honkai, like you're going to take it. Like
Yeah,
you are taking somebody's getting hit with that.
Especially when you get to stage 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, like they start to hit so fucking hard. Like, and that's where this is an interesting one because I know you're passionate about Luocha and having that second healer and stuff like that. I've got my hot take on him is yes, obviously if you don't have Japad or Bailu, he's going to be like a necessary unit. So you can even try to do that stuff. But I just don't know with where and we can talk about Jing as well because I feel like he came too early. Like I feel like he's an end game specialist and people aren't at the stage where he is in his most usable state. But I feel like Luocha might be similar in that when we look at him, he heals based on attack, so he's going to be really squishy. He's got the flowers, yes, but once he consumes those flowers to put the field up, where then you're healing yourself by whatever when you hit the enemies, I think what people are really going to need is that burst healing, like big chunky healing at the stage of the game most free-to-play players are going to be at when he comes out. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing just to see how it falls. I don't really know. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think Loja's going to be busted.
You're still completely sold?
Oh, yeah, no, he's busted for sure. For sure. I mean, just being able to heal with no skill points, like, that's fucking insane. Like, the entirety of, like, Honkai Star Rail is, like, a skill point usage and then skill point gain. And, like, he just has infinite value with, like, a free fucking heal. And it's, like, AoE, because it got buffed.
That's what I'm curious to see is if he can do it without skill points or if at that stage we're at in the game. I think endgame, yes, he becomes that offensive healer that's fantastic. I'm curious to see if you take too much pressure in when you're like still like level 60, level 70 with your characters, whether you're taking too much pressure and you actually still need to skill every turn with him to keep things alive.
I don't know. I feel like if you like pair him with like MC, he'll probably just be fine. You know, a little bit extra support, like MC's little shield every turn, probably be good. And then like just have like Natasha and March on the other team. But like I just and not to mention the buff removal is also insane.
Yes, 100%. Like against enemies that you can strip, like it's so useful having a Pella when you can strip those buffs. Like at the moment, because she's the only one that we got that actually applies that has a strip, isn't she? Anyone else?
Yeah, Pela. Yeah, she's the buff stripper. Yeah, which is really fucking frustrating because I hate when I go to World 3 and like I kill those mobs that revive, and so I don't get the resurgence procs on my Zila. Like, bro, that shit is so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
and I like have to bring a Pela, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, next wave of Memory of Chaos, I guarantee you those. I would say those things are going to be everywhere, just to screw Zila. I feel like she's had a time where she just dominates too easily, and they're gonna go, oh, what's that? You want resurgence? Nope.
Fuck.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But I definitely think back to that original topic of like story in the next patch. I definitely think they haven't fleshed out Silverwolf, Luocha, and definitely not Yukong enough. So I'm very hopeful that we will get at least some sort of, even if it's not main story, I'm hoping for main story, but some side story type stuff that gives us more into those characters because they have to build that connection before they get people to pull for them. I mean, they don't have to. People will pull anyway, but it helps.
But it'll help sales.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's no way the banner is just, oh, we're 1.1 now. Look at these two new characters. Like there's got to be something to sell them. Like Hoyoverse knows how to sell units. And I'm telling you right now, like if people think Zila's banner sold a lot, just wait till they see the Kafka banner sales. Like those are going to go through the fucking roof. 100%. But now the thing is,
even the Jing banner. I feel like in the CN sales do really well on like the male characters too. Like I feel like Jing was nuts.
I haven't seen the raw numbers yet. I've only seen the raw numbers for Zila. I'm not sure how much has been spent on Jing Yuan yet, which is a shame because I know a lot of free-to-play players got jebaited into pulling him and are regretting that right now. I see that almost every day I go live on Twitch at like 6,000-7,000 viewers. Every day. Probably like even every like 2 or 3 minutes, I see someone saying, fuck, I wish I didn't pull for Jing Yuan. And I feel horrible because like he just requires a lot. You know, he requires a lot. The light cone and the buffers, like it's rough.
Yeah. I also think, like I said, I think he does require a lot now. I think he's going to be a lot better later on. I think he's AoE cleaving. And the thing is, a lot of people downplay, and I used to do this too, AoE a lot more than I think it deserves, because when you get into Memory of Chaos 8, 9, 10, every boss is 2 enemies, 2 bosses.
Yeah.
So I
Very
feel
true.
like that's going to get its time to shine. But yeah, I definitely think from a point of, if he wasn't your favorite character, the play was always to skip, because my problem is I don't like why have a free-to-play AoE lightning damage dealer, have your second banner AoE lightning damage dealer, and then have your fifth banner AoE lightning damage dealer. That was obviously with lore, with the story, you're sort of governed by it, but I would have maybe I feel like Kafka's going to be vital through the whole game. They could have held her longer. And I mean, let's face it, Kafka is that unit that could have been a massive resurgence whenever you had a downfall in player base and everyone's coming back to pull for Kafka.
Yeah, they're dumping her fucking early, bro. Which I'm excited for, because she's gonna be the gateway to dot teams. And I know a lot of people right now are saying that oh, she's bad, she's bad. I really don't think that that's the case at all. I've seen her kit multiple times. I feel like it's gonna function absolutely properly. But I feel like Kafka is gonna be a character that unlocks the DOT teams, and that's gonna get better the longer the game goes on. With any new dot character, Kafka becomes even stronger, even stronger, even stronger.
Yeah, and so, in the beta, Sampo was my favorite character by far. I love that dude. I always just think of Seke from Black Clover when I see him, when I hear his voice, but he just, the dots were just really cool. I like the multi-hit, I like the breaking. I don't know, his just entire kit I really enjoyed. And the fact that he stacks wind shear, and then his basic attack hits 3 times, so you can apply 3 stacks. And then if you get him to E4, then he becomes a DPS unit as well as that supportive dot unit, which is just even more. I'm a big fan of him. Big fan.
No, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Sampo too. I really wish I fucking had him. I think he's so fucking good. I feel like he's so slept on. It's ridiculous. Just seeing the Sampo nihility clears is just so fucking insane. Not that I want to use simulated universe as my base judgment for how good a character is. That's always a very bad idea to do. That's why a lot of people got baited in the Jing Yuan, because they saw all these videos of a Jing Yuan one-shotting a boss in simulated universe. And I'm just well, why the fuck are you trusting any simulated universe showcase video that you've ever seen?
Did you
bro,
did you see did you see what I did on my mate's whale account? I had to play around with his E6 maxed out weapon as well, Jing. In Memory of Chaos floor 10, we did a single target. I buffed him with Bronya and Ting. Single target, about 146k. Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
with the 10 stack Lightning Lord. It was insane. But
I wonder how much Zila ult does with that much investment.
With the thing with Zila in Memory of Chaos, you can get higher numbers because you can use the cycle buff with it as well.
Yeah.
Because Jing can't make use of the cycle buff with his Lightning Lord because it's a 1-turn buff. Also, he can't make use of Bronya's boosting buff because it's a 1-turn buff. So that's basically from Ting's 2 buffs and Bronya's ult. That's all you can stack on Jing for his Lightning Lord.
Yeah.
That's the one finicky thing with the Lightning Lord is and that's what I found when I was trying to do it. And also because my mate had a slow Jing because he had him on attack on the boots. It's just trying to manage the buffs, especially in Memory of Chaos at the moment, where he gets boosted, which you don't actually want him to get boosted that much, because then he's taking turns consuming those buffs and doesn't get another turn by the time the Lightning Lord comes around. He's very, very finicky at the moment, but I still think he's a cool character. But
no, I think he's a great character as well. I'm just trying to let people know, because the problem was when he came out, people thought that he was the best unit in the whole game. He's so broken. Look what he can do. When in reality, he's S tier, but people were saying that he was triple S tier.
Yeah,
that was my problem.
I feel like he sits below Zila at the moment, but he's the best of the rest for general usage. Whereas at the moment, I'd say it's arguable that Yang Qing is better than him in certain situations, just because of his usefulness in higher floors of Memory Chaos at the moment. Because they're weak to ice, he can freeze them, and we're not full maxed 80 with good gear, so you need those freezes and that break. But in general, I still think he's good.
Yang Jing is a character that's actually incredibly easily to build, but people just don't get that yet. I'm gonna make a video on that later. I feel like Yang Jing is one of the most misunderstood units in the whole game right now. And the other thing with Jing Yuan is he's very good, but I don't think he's so much better than Serval where you would need to pull him unless you're in love with the character.
Yeah, unfortunately for me,
I feel like Serval is great.
Yeah, Serval's great, especially AoE when you look at E6 capabilities. She's nuts. I still haven't pulled an E2 Serval. I just need to get that E2 so I can make my passkey video. I just love it. Skill, ult every time on a single target. You never fail to do it. Yep. Yes, you lose damage, but it's great for breaking and it feels so good. But But yeah, with Yang Qing, like I've even got my theory that I want to do, but he's on my free-to-play account, so I don't have that much gear on that account yet. But I'm experimenting with the idea of an energy rope on him, energy regeneration rope, and just foregoing all crit rate. So just use the crit. Basically, the idea is to cycle his ult more so that you keep that crit buff from his ult up more often, so you don't worry about the in-between attack hits. So I haven't theory crafted, like I haven't run the numbers on it, but that's just something I'm playing around with in my head, as opposed to like trying to crit on the attacks when he doesn't have the buff.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that sounds cool as fuck to me.
But my problem is I'm just like, anytime I see energy regeneration, I'm like, I want energy regeneration. Like, like from like back in like Summoners War days where it's like just speed is king. So like in this game, I know some people like sometimes attacks better. I'm like, my brain is just like, give me speed. I just can't help it. It's something I'm like, yes, you guys can math it out and tell me that attack is better. I'm running speed. There's nothing else I can do. What's that?
I am Trailblazer level 51, and I have not gotten a single piece of energy regeneration yet.
Okay.
I don't even have one.
This is my hot take. I haven't seen data on it, but everyone I'm speaking to at the moment that's like been refreshing and spamming, I've only gotten one energy rope on both my accounts that I was doing refreshes on. So you know how you can craft the piece with the thing from the battle pass? I don't want to say this to people and then be proven wrong, so I'm tentative on it. But on all my accounts, it's an energy set, energy regen rope. Like that's my first craft because you just do not see energy regen. You do not see it.
It is fucking ridiculous. Like it is absolutely fucking absurd. It's so fucking annoying. But you just need so fucking many.
Yeah.
It's like demoralizing at a certain point.
Trying to get them. Have you got 4-star ones at least?
No.
Really?
I think I have a 3-star one though.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, that's not gonna get too far. Damn, that sucks, man. But
like
but the other thing is, as free to play, and I've noticed this especially through doing my account with refreshes versus non-refreshes, like I've put this in other videos where I say, if you're watching me who's refreshing or anyone who's making content refreshing, just understand when I was at Trailblazer level 50 compared to when you get to Trailblazer level 50, I'm going to have a ton more of whatever the fuck it is that I was farming because I got more of my levels through burning stamina and you got more of your levels through doing dailies. So like, that's the thing I noticed on my free-to-play account. I'm like, dude, my other account was stacked with gear once I got to Trailblazer 50. I'm like, this one, I've got like maybe 15 5-stars. Like my other account had like 130. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a barren wasteland right now, like a barren wasteland. Like I cannot level up shit. I cannot get shit. I'm stuck in like farming materials to evolve hell. Like it is fucking torment. I cannot imagine what Trailblazer 60 is going to be like, because right now 50 is fucking hell.
Yeah, 60 gets so steep, man. But the one thing, the one thing I'm so happy that I did on my free to play account after I played through my other account was that the entire time from level 30 to 40, all I farmed was Simulated Universe 6. Because that's when you could get the 5-star planner ornaments, but you couldn't farm 5-star relics yet. So at least I had some 5-star stuff to slap on in that range, because if I didn't, I'd probably still have no planner ornaments.
Yep.
Kind of situation you're in.
It's the exact same. We're just both fucked. and that's how this is how Hoyoverse wants us to feel. Because they want you to feel like you're stuck. They want you to feel like you're fucked. And they want you to just dip into that credit card, whip out those 3 funky digits on the back, and just fucking spend, bro. But I will not break. Yeah. I've had many buddies trying to live the free-to-play lifestyle break. I will not break. I will not.
That's fair. Like I said, I think free-to-play is fine. Like it's just like, and that's not a Hoyoverse thing. That's just a gacha game across the board. Like that's just the whole... The gacha life. That's why I've been watching you like track MTash and stuff like that. Who, great bloke. I love MTash. It's just like, I feel like he needs multiple games to play, like multiple gachas, so you're not stuck in one. Because like trying to like, and I've done it. So like I conceded to the fact that Honkai Star Rail is going to be a game where I'm not going to be able to grind all day, every day. Because I always come back to it, but Summoner's War, if you remember Summoner's War, with the free-to-play income, you could basically refresh your stamina all day, every day, as long as you didn't summon, and you could keep grinding gear. But then I look at Honkai Star Rail, I'm like, they've just done that, but they've made it way more efficient. So now I actually really appreciate it. When you get to Trailblaze level 65, I'm assuming it's going to be 2 guaranteed 5 stars from a run, plus a 50% chance at another one. Whereas in Summoner's War back in the day, like you'd go 4 runs and you get like 10 basic scrolls. You'd get like, you get jack shit. So actually getting that quality gear is just, they've expedited the process. They could reduce the stamina cost of a run and give you less gear. But I'm actually quite happy with the way it panned out.
Yeah, that quote unquote quality gear, I haven't seen it yet, but I have seen the opportunity to get quality gear, but it just never happens. Which is so fun.
Do you? So I have a very opposing take to a lot of people. I love RNG gear. I think it's like,
Same.
For me, and this is why in most games that I played, it was always, I use all my premium currency on refreshes. Now, I don't recommend anyone do that in this game because this game's different because it inflates the price and it gets too expensive. Whereas back in like Summoner's War, it was like a fixed 30 gems, like for as many as you want. But I always like trying to do that because the gotcha for me in these games is the gear drops as opposed to the character drops.
Yeah. No, I love RNG drops as well. Keeps things like very like refreshing, but like I'm just wondering why I haven't gotten like a single good piece where I can't post it online and say, look what I got. I have like Vulcan, I have nothing. People come to my Twitch streams and they say, this is the worst account I've ever seen. I every time I pull, I have to go to double pity. Every time I roll, people say, wow, mid, trash. And you know what's crazy? Despite all that, despite my account being the worst, I have cleared all content in the game up for my level. Like all of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I got nothing for you, man.
But I just don't need it, you know?
I mean, eventually, yeah, no, I got nothing for you. I was trying to pick you up, but I got nothing to really pipe it up. But I want to jump in and talk about the community. So for those that don't know, we started at a very similar time on YouTube because we've been through a lot of games, a lot of games. Yeah. And coming into Honkai Star Rail, I was a bit tentative. I saw things in Genshin about pronouncing names. And if anyone's watched me through any game that I've played, pronouncing names is the thing I am absolutely worst at. I just give characters nicknames. It's a lot easier. But just in general, how have you seen the community in the game?
Well, I think the Honkai Star Rail community should be proud because we've made it 33 days without sending death threats to the voice actors. Very proud they haven't done that like they did in Genshin Impact. Not sure if you heard about that, but a character called Kokomi came out underwhelming in the game. Underwhelming, like wasn't strong enough. So Twitter thought it would be a great idea to tell the voice actor that they were going to fucking kill them for their character not being good en masse. Not one guy, like a lot of people.
Okay.
Like tens of thousands.
I thought there was going to be more heat around the Zila thing. Because...
What Zila thing?
Well, apparently Zila in Honkai Star Rail is said like seal or Seale or something like that. It's pronounced different in the game.
Yeah.
And then when they came into this game, like, because that was the one thing I saw, I had a lot of comments on in early videos was for calling her Zila. And I'm like, guys, like that's the way they say it in the game. And I was like, did they just give the VAs the name text and then they just looked up how to say it? Because like there's a Chinese way and then I think it's like Greek or another. I always get it messed up.
I believe it's German.
German, yeah. And that's the German way. So I was like, I was curious to see if there was anything with that, but it's sort of just gone by the wayside. And I like Zila more than Seal, to be honest, personally. I think it sounds cool.
Yeah, well, I feel like, a lot of the issues we dealt with in the previous community with Genshin, a lot of people have grown up. It's been 2.5, 3 years. So a lot of these 15-year-old Twitter warriors are now 18 and have to work a low-paying minimum wage job at McDonald's. And they realize that the real world is a really fucking hard and cruel place. And there's better things to spend your time than fucking bitching at people on fucking Twitter. So that's my opinion. I feel like they're finally getting a taste of like just realizing, hey, maybe I shouldn't waste my entire fucking life being miserable.
Would you also say by the same point, because I know you were involved in a lot of drama back in the Genshin days. Would you say it's also that you've grown up a bit too?
Well, so here's the big difference. In the Genshin Impact drama scene, um, if you've ever looked into it, it was pretty childish, to be honest. And it was my fault for even responding to it. Because since Honkai Star Rail has come out, I'm not even kidding you, 4 or 5 content creators have already attempted to like have a go at me. Right. But I am a much happier place now. I am not responding to any of these quote unquote critiques, as they call it. And it's not because I don't want to. I would love to let these people know like my true thoughts and their opinions of me. But what I'm realizing is if you even respond to drama, people are gonna say that you started it. The shit that I've been told that I have quote unquote supposedly done is so beyond bullshit that I'm just tired of it. Like getting in drama no matter what is just a loss every single fucking time. And the problem with the Genshin community, so many people came at me. I cleared myself of, not even kidding you, I cleared myself of literally everything. But everybody's there, and this is why whole reason why I have a controversial take on me and why Tectone's a bad guy. It's because everybody's there when people, feed into their confirmation bias of, oh, people think Tectone's a bad guy. Anything they see supporting that, they're going to agree with immediately. It's just like everything that I got accused of, I would clear myself of immediately. Like immediately. But everybody's there for the execution. Like nobody's there for like the clearing. Like everybody's there when they see like the accusation. Nobody's there when you clear your fucking name. And it's a tale as old as time. And so now when people just come at me, I'm not kidding you. I'm not even kidding you. Like 5 different people have already said, Tectone this, Tectone that. Tectone hurt my feelings. Tectone didn't show up to my birthday party. Like I'm good. I'm good. Like I'm good. Like bro, I'm 29 fucking years old, bro. I got better shit to do than fucking fight people on the internet because I hurt their feelings because, oh, fuck, I don't know. I said I wanted to fuck Kafka, Like, I'm a Coomer, bro. I think anime girls are hot. What do you want me to do, bro? You want me to apologize for that? That's what the company wants, dog. The whole purpose of a gacha game is to sell waifus with big tits. Yes, I think Kafka looks very breedable today. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm just simply not.
Okay, I've got to get onto that topic because we spoke about this on your stream before. I wanted to go into a specific character that makes no sense to me on why people feel that way about them. And that is the Divination Commission chick. I can't say her name, Fushuan or whatever it is.
Fushuan, yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Because it blows my mind that there's such a big following behind that because I just don't get it.
Oh, no, I don't like Fushuan either.
Okay. I'm just like...
I think...
That's just one of those ones. Like I look at Kafka and I'm like, okay, I get the appeal. I understand that. Fushuan, I'm just like, I'm just not there. If you guys are and you put it in the comments, I'm curious to what the appeal is.
She doesn't have like a mature enough look. Like when I look at Fushuan, she just looks like a kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's like this. It's like the same thing with Silverwolf. Like Silverwolf just like looks like a kid. Like, I think her outfit looks really fucking cool, and I think Kafka would look sexy as fuck if she wore Silverwolf's clothes. But like, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
like Fushuan looks like a fucking kid. But maybe I'm just ingrained to feel that way because any chick with no tits in a fucking anime gacha game just looks way young. She's short and has no boobs. She looks like a kid to me. Once again, y'all do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just letting y'all know I'm a Kafka guy, okay? I'm good.
On the Silverwolf, that is a sick design. That sword fist weapon thing, I don't know what it is. That's wicked. I reckon her design is probably one of the best in the game. I also really like Serval's design.
I think Serval is great. I think the fact that Serval is also like 30 also feels way better because like she looks like she's 30, right? Like I like that she's just like, oh, she's 30.
Okay, this is the thing that got me. I reckon she looks Bronya's age. Her and Bronya, she does not look Kokolia's age. Does she?
That?
I just feel
I think her and Kokolia's in the same age.
How old do you think Kokolia is supposed to be? How old do you think Bronya... So this is the thing. Through that side quest, or like just the general questing where like, they were friends, all that yada, yada, yada. I'm just looking at it. So Bronya is how old?
Bronya's probably like 18, 19, 20.
Okay, and
I feel like Kokoli and Serval are just in their 30s.
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Cool.
I just the whole time I just felt like Kokoli was being represented to be a bit older than that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get you.
Like that was the
Because
vibe.
How old are you?
Me? I'm 33.
Yeah, like I'm 29, right? But I feel like, we look pretty similar. My ass is bald.
Yeah.
Wait, take off your hat. What's underneath that hat?
Oh, dude, I need a haircut.
Oh, you got hair underneath that thing. Okay.
I am receding though,
bro. Yeah, you got that mature hairline. You've been through enough bullshit. Number one pro tip if you want to save yourself some stress, never be open and honest in a gacha gaming community about how you feel about characters if you want to save yourself some stress. Now, my stupid ass, I cause myself a lot of issues because I'm gonna just tell it how it is, man. Right? I feel like nothing gets done unless somebody makes people uncomfortable and just tells people how it is. It's like, what the biggest problem is these motherfuckers who go to American Idol who get told all the time, well, my family told me I sing really fucking good. And then they go up there, they have to perform in front of millions of people and they look like fucking dumbasses. It's a tale as old as time. Just fucking say it like it is. And don't be a dick. Okay, I have a problem. I'm a dick about it sometimes. I don't mean to, but just say it how it is and try not to be a dick. But the problem is, sometimes when you say it like it is, people just say you're a dick, even though in the reality you're just trying to be constructive.
It's kind of like those people who take reality TV as real.
Oh my god, dude! Social media is a fucking plague. Do you know how many friends I have that are fucking beautiful, but they see all these people on social media and they're like, "Oh my god, I can never look like them." Like, social media has conditioned 8s and 9s to feel like 4s and 5s. Like, it's fucking insane. Like, people don't know what ugly is. Like, motherfuckers call my ass ugly. Bitch, I'm a good looking dude and I fucking know that shit. You want to see some fucking freaks? You want to see some ones? Go to Walmart at 3 a.m. That's when you'll find the fucking ghouls and goblins crawling out from their fucking tombs late at night. Okay, I know me and you, Vulcan, we are good looking fucking men. And I swear to God, I'm not letting these people on social media convince me otherwise. Fuck that. Sorry, I hear that shit way too much. It's so annoying.
I was just trying to take the piss out of you for taking American Idol as serious. And dude, I fired up something there big. But yeah, to be fair, you go.
So I had a cousin who went on American Idol. Right? That's why I get in my head, because all the time I would go to the family gatherings and they're like, "Oh, Susie, you're so I don't care. I dox him. It's fine. I don't care. Susie, you sucked. Okay, like, oh, Susie, you're so good. Oh wow, you're singing so great. No, it fucking wasn't. It was dog shit, and she got humiliated. I don't care. Then I would be the person who said, well, maybe you should consider getting some vocal practice. That's what I went through. And she was like, oh my God, you're such a dick. No, I'm not, bro. I'm legit just looking out for you, dog. Fuck, feels bad.
That's hilarious. And like you put me onto another thing. We're getting a bit off topic, but I don't care where we go. The whole social media thing. It's so interesting to me because I'm a bit of a weird unit because I have never had any social media until I made a YouTube channel and started making content. And then I made a Twitter because one of the games told me, we want you to have a Twitter when we promote you. And like, that is the only time I picked up social media. Besides that, I created a Facebook so I could log into games. I have no friends and only people who are my friends of friends can add me. So like, no one can add me. I don't know if that's changed. I set that up like 8 years ago. Never had Instagram, Snapchat, any of those things. So all of that is just like completely mind blowing to me. And I know from a content creator standpoint, I should get more active on social media because, it helps you grow and all that shit. But I just don't care for it at all. Like, what's your take on social media in general and then around like the gaming spaces as well?
I'm only in the social medias that I want to be in. Fuck Facebook. I cannot be fucked to do Instagram. I'm good. I feel like YouTube, Twitch are good, but Twitch is only good if you want to like live stream, but you can still stream on YouTube. I just feel like Twitter and YouTube's all you need.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But I am a big Twitch guy. Obviously, I'm biased. Like I love Twitch. I love Twitch. That's I much prefer live streaming over making videos because I like being able to interact with people who watch my videos. Like, it makes me really happy that someone can go watch my video, find me on my stream, say, yo, just watch this, new here. That message means so much to me. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I guess for me, like, I was like, I met my missus when I was 16, and when I was at school when MySpace came out, so I'm a bit older than you, yeah. But
A little bit.
and then everyone's like getting on MySpace. I'm like, why would I get on MySpace when I can talk to all my friends on WoW? And that's the only people I want to talk to online. Like, it just never made sense to me.
Yep. No, I totally get that, man. No, I mean, I think that's a perfectly valid point.
100%. So, anything else you wanna talk about? Anything burning your brain that you want to have a chat about?
No, I think I'm good. I'm happy that you're making content. I was very disheartened that MTash is going to stop streaming Honkai Star Rail. Because like I just like having people in the space that I like genuinely respect, and I know that you are one of those people. Like, I love your content. I think you're an amazing fucking guy, and it makes me happy that like in the Honkai Star Rail space, I actually have a lot of people who are like I look up to and like I actually respect, and it just feels good to have like a working community of creators who I like enjoy doing stuff with, because it was very hard in Genshin to do shit. It was very, very, very hard. But I feel like for Honkai Star Rail, I mean, like, kind of, the world's my oyster right now. We can do a lot of cool shit and do a lot of collaborations, and like just like now being on your channel meant a lot. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Just thanks for having me on your channel, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. And as always, like, I know you're a busy dude. Like, I look at your upload schedule on YouTube and I'm like, holy fuck, how does he maintain that along with the streaming and everything else? And then obviously you got your OTK stuff going as well. So I appreciate you taking the time, man. But yeah, if you guys have anything you want to add, anything you want to ask us, we can always do another one of these and have a chat about basically anything, because it's always good to have a chill chat and not really care too much about the structure of things. So as always, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Of course.